by putting more focus personally, I mean, their teacher is there, the course material is there, the assessment is there. I did complete that, but still you need to put more efforts on yourself to have some your own study. It will easier your first ever landed job. For me now, I need to learn something myself so that my next day will be better or say like easier.
First of all, start off by just introducing yourself and what you're up to these days.
All right. I was Nixon. So I was graduated at Utah, and then my major is actuarial science. And after graduations, I worked with Accenture, and I work for the client Google, and those platform experience associate. So been worked there for like about 4 years plus, and after that I quit the job and I joined Sigma School for the full stack development short course. After that, I look out for developer jobs and then I get it, which is my current jobs. I work for Property 213 as a software developer. Yep.
Great. Yeah. So, you have like a strong background in actuarial science, right, from Utah. What made you want to pivot into software development to begin with? Because you were in your career for like maybe 4 years or something, and then you were like, okay, I want to try something completely different. What like sparked that decision?
I was interested in technology, and I feel like coding is something can bring changes to my life. uh, no doubt about the career development, and also like I've been through during my university time. I've been through the MCO in Malaysia, which is the quarantine for the COVID cases. So I know like those jobs which can get you work from home and like just using computer will make you survive in crisis like this.
Hmm.
So I feel like coding is one of the things that you can equip, and also I feel like I need something which can be considered as skills. So I think coding is one of the things. So that's why I quit my job and joined the industry.
So it was like a mix of like interest in tech and also very practical. After you seeing like what the pandemic can do to careers, you want to do something that's a bit more protected lah, a bit more foolproof.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah. So then like when did you have that like thought of pursuing it, and then when did you actually like realize, okay, I'm going to go for it? Because it feels like a bit of a leap, right? I'm sure you were contemplating for a while, or did you like straight away like, okay, I'm just going to do this lah?
No, it's a very tough decision making process. I would say, like I mean, working for a company for 4 years, like nowadays for my generation, I would say is quite stable in comfort already, and that's I'm in my comfort zone already. So making a decision that is very tough. Like, you need to like really drag yourself out, and then also programming coding is a very not easy things, and especially I need to go on a short course, right? That's mean I need to pick up the study again after graduating from university. Study itself is a difficult things already. So have thoughts I have these thoughts, I think about for a years already, and then only that I finally take the steps to move out.
Was it
So yeah.
was there something that made you like, okay, enough, and I'm just gonna go for it now? Or is it just like after 1 year waiting, you were just like, okay, lah, let's just do it? Like, was there a moment where you were like, you know what, enough, I'm just gonna go for it?
um I think it's that there's a moment of a thing like um today's will always be earlier than tomorrow, and then today is always be later than yesterday. So I was feeling like if I don't move now, then it's going to be more difficult for me to move tomorrow. And also, I thinking about my parents will always getting older tomorrow than today. So I feel like if I want to do something, I better do that before too late. Yeah.
Hmm. How old were you, by the way, like when you decided to make that pivot and go to Sigma school?
26, I would say.
Hmm. Okay, I mean that's still quite a big jump, like, in your career for a few years, and then you make a completely 180 shift, right?
True.
So how did you first come across Sigma School as you were started to review your options in doing a boot camp or furthering like your studies in comsci and coding and full stack
Mhm.
development? When did you come across Sigma School, and how did you feel about it when you first saw it?
All right. So I actually, I was like, I told you it was like 1 year thinking process before I joined Sigma School, right? Within that 1 year, I did make some changes. I did make some movement. Like I go on online courses to study on my own, but ended up very challenging and very difficult, lah, I would say, to absorb it myself. I'm sure that someone in the world can make it, but definitely not me. So I was thinking like, okay, so maybe I need something else. That I do some research. I think boot camp, this thing is very common in US, especially for programming, but in Malaysia, there's not much. So starting on researching, there are not much, but there are still few boot camps in Malaysia that are looking into them. Saw some advertisement from the social media by Sigma School, yeah, so I can get to know more about them. I also uh try to look for the courses, how it looks like, and then it ended up Sigma School did provide refundable things, like let's say if you can get a job by then. So I feel like this is a very strong signal. Like first thing, like if I really can't get the job, at least I secure back those money, right? For
Hmm.
me, because I'm quitting my current job before I join the courses, so I wouldn't have income after that, right? So and also I need to like squeeze my saving for taking the course and also for the living expenses. So I feel like these things really give me confidence, like you're going to secure it if you need to get a job. That's the first signal. So the second signal is like I think they are very confident that after the course you took, you will definitely get a job. So I feel like okay, so the course material, the lecturer they giving must be very confident at that. So I feel like yeah, I can give it a try.
When did you graduate, by the way?
Just this April.
Oh, yeah. And you got a
Yep.
job already.
Yeah, I got a job already. I
And you,
think within 3 months time, but I think it should be it should consider lesser than 3 months time because I didn't really put on effort to look for a job until like the last month. So you could say also in 1 month times I get the job.
hmm. So when you first joined the bootcamp, right? Like, what were your expectations like, and how did it actually compare? Like the reality, how did it compare, or did you really not meet
Uh,
the expectations?
that's one thing that I like make Sigma School different from other boot camps. Like and is also one of the things that make me choose Sigma School is that they have the physical classes, and they have the teacher there physically teach you. I think that's way more effective for me to learn. After my self study, I know how difficult for me to pick up the study, again. So I feel like having a short course like in a full time will help me. And then Sigma School provide the physical as well, so it was like a plus plus there. So I was like, yeah, I need to go for it. So
Yeah. So the fact that it was like refundable if you don't get a job, and also there was like a class setting, so you can hold yourself more
physically,
accountable, and as there's like a sense of community, it was like if it stood out compared to other boot camps, like you would say.
yep, definitely.
Mhm. So what was it like when you first joined? Like the maybe the subjects, the modules, the topics. Like, was it difficult at first, or was it something that you expected because like you're interested in these things? Like, what was the learning process like for you when you first came in?
Uh, Actually, I didn't join for the first week. I joined like from second weeks onwards. I got
Mhm.
something to do in the first
Okay.
week, so they are worried about me. they tell me better, you know, get back to us, as soon as possible. Don't. We need to replace your courses. But during my high school, I did learn some very basic coding, so I think I can catch up easily. So it's okay for me. But the courses is quite good in a sense of I don't know. Maybe I have a little bit very basic coding. They get me, but I know they jump quite fast. But that's one of the thing that very contradict you. Like I like that the period of time is only 3 months, so I can I can quickly look for a job after 3 months. But in the same time, during my study, I was like, wow, 3 months maybe a little bit shorter,
Mm.
because you need to learn things very fast. Every day is going to be a new topic, something else. But it will help you. So I don't know, very contradict for my sex. So, but overall, the cost itself is, I'll say, quite real life attached. I noticed that they don't really conduct or I would say they don't really focus on those like conceptual thing. They focus on real life, like tool you need to know or skill or framework you need to know.
Like
So
very
that's the
practical.
more practical because we do have a lot of time. So I think that's the better way of doing it actually.
Was there anything that you struggled with? Like, what was the thing you struggled with the most? Like, maybe either it was like the pace you're talking about, was there a specific subject, or like even maybe it's just, I don't know. Was there something that you
Mm,
struggled with at all?
for me, I would say when they are teaching the React framework, that's one of the things I was struggling. But yeah, that's the interesting part. Like I ended up get the offer for my current company because I have the React skill and I get a few interview opportunity because I included the React in my how to say the tech stack.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. Like Sigma School did like real they give you what the world currently needed. So I feel like if I join next year, the cost materials might be different already.
Yeah, very
Like
relevant.
they just give you those like what the world are using. So yeah.
Mm. Do you remember what you did for your capstone project?
I did a simple web page with some booking system.
Mm.
Very simple one.
Keep
Yeah.
it simple. And who do you remember your teacher? Was it Safa?
Diamond.
Oh, Diamond. Okay, I didn't really meet that guy yet. Okay, so I would love to know about you. You talking about how when you first graduated, it was like you were not really like super urgent looking for a job, right?
Yep. That time. No, I would say I wasn't very urgently looking for a job, but it's just that I feel like family plans with my family. So yeah, the
Oh,
time
okay lah.
schedule.
Okay lah. I mean, so then when you did start to finally sit down to start looking for a job, how was that process like for you? Was it like difficult at the beginning, or did you get leads pretty quickly?
Or say another challenging things,
Yeah.
this year all years long, a lot of challenging things. The interview process itself is also very different from previously before I looking for programmer job. Like programmer job, they usually have at least two phases of interview, and one of it will be the technical interview, and that really like scare me at the first because I've never gone through something like this. Uh, so it is something very new that you need to adapt to. I would say there's always going to be technical interview. So yeah, and also that's one thing. Like I'm taking the short course and then I join as a programmer, right? So for the first job I get, I think the interview process is quite some challenging because they know you are not from a CS computer science background. You didn't get a degree from that. So you are just gone through the short course. You need to prove them something else. I think so. The capstone project or some other add-on personal project will be very helpful on that.
Hmm.
You need to prove them you have the skill, you have the knowledge.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to. Oh, that's what I was curious about also because like you don't have like a degree, like a traditional degree, right? So did you feel like maybe recruiters or hirers were treating you a bit differently, or did you
Mm,
not really feel that?
I would say depends on what you are looking. If you are looking in those like they welcome fresh grad, they welcome entry level, then I think that's they don't mind it. But if you are looking at like so junior role with 1 year experience and above or something else, it would be a challenge lah, I would say. So if you don't put your target too high, I think that's going to be fine, because I think that's also the reason I choose coding, right? Because this is one of the industry you can step in with the lowest qualification, I would say. Like, how come you become a accountant in 3 months time? That doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah,
So like you said, like that one of the scary things about getting interviewed was like the technical interview and stuff like that, right? Did you feel like the
yeah.
Sigma School syllabus and also the projects you built in Sigma School were like helped with the was like relevant to the technical aspect?
True. Definitely how a lot. Like personal project is the only things that you can prove and real. The other things is I don't think you can prove it in another way. Like they don't, for the jobs that I'm looking, they don't really give me like assessment or things like this and that, because I'm looking for junior role, or entry level, like so. But personal project is one of things you can prove yourself very well. And Sigma School also, like their project, they have few requirements, like, and those requirements is usually align with those company requirements, like this concept, that concept, that concept.
So how did you feel when you get that first that offer letter from the company you're working at right now? Where you're like, yo, let's go! I actually did this.
I was like, oh, finally, man, I don't need to go through those technical interview again. Then uh I was like, you know what, when I get the offer from this company, then suddenly those interview ongoing or haven't ended yet, you still have some second interview things, you finally feel very confident.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah. I get
like,
it.
like you get recognized from some company, you got an offer, you have nothing to worry.
Yeah. Yeah, because like at the beginning you're like thinking like, can I ever do this? Can I even get one offer? So you feel like very like hesitant.
Yeah, you
Then when
doubt
you get
that.
one right, you feel like safe already, so that you can be more confident in the other ones. Which is like when you get that one, then it's like everything is different already.
Yep, that's the things. Like I got one of my friend also jump out from my ex colleague, also in the same company, also jump out for IT related things. She go for self study also, not in programming. I think it's like something related to cloud engineering or something
Mm.
else. She took an online course. She completed the course. She passed the course, but now she's doing something similar to the previous job. So it's not like programming or IT related things. So I feel like it's not easy at all.
Yeah, when
So
you
I
have
feel
to change
lucky.
lah, yeah. So I'm pretty new lah, but then I would like to know if like during your job search period, were you getting any like support from Sigma School at all, or like
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of things though. Like you can have the uh interview, mock-up interview for you, especially for the technical parts.
mm,
If like me, I'm not confident, I can get some interview feedback from Sigma School. We go through a mock-up interview, and also another new things that I didn't enjoy now is like I think they come out newly. That one is the job bill or something else. I think they will have a lot of things that can do that. Maybe a lot of referrals and partners which you can get to interview to. The first ever interview I've go through also from Sigma School client actually.
yeah.
So it give you a try for that, and that's a very good things, I'll say.
Yeah, it's nice because like we are also having like the same urgency as you because we have to like fully refund you if you don't get a job. So like to have someone who's like feeling your same struggle and there with you, I'm sure it's like it's helpful, right?
True, true.
Yeah. So looking back, how much of what you learn at Sigma School shows up in your day-to-day work now, and how much have you had to pick up and learn new things?
Mm, uh, Actually, Sigma School did taught me a lot of things, but I would say in real life, usually they need you focus on one thing. They don't like you don't do like everything, but Sigma School did teach you everything. So I feel like right now, like what I say, for the React part, and for currently what I'm doing in my company, I doing the React part, and so Sigma School did conduct the React part, which is related, so I can like relate these two. And also, one thing, like Sigma School at the end of the course, they taught me how to use the AI tools, which is very common nowadays to code your codes, and that's really helping.
Hmm.
That is really helpful. Like I was like very struggle when I first entered the company. I mean, the real life project and your personal project, the gaps is way too different. The requirement from the clients is very complicated. The real world data is very huge. So I faced a lot of difficulties in the first month, I would say, first
Hmm.
few weeks. And then the knowledge that I learned from Sigma School, and then those like how to use those AI tools, those kind of things, right, did really help me. Like I really, really rely heavily on that on my first few weeks until I starting to like get through the rhythm. Then I can code more myself now.
So how long have you been with your current company, Property 213?
Oh, things like 3 months plus.
Mm. So things are you getting into a better rhythm now, and things are getting more familiar, lah, for sure.
Things are getting more familiar, but yeah, still a lot of things need to learn. Every day there's going to be new things from IT. They grow way too fast, but things are getting better.
Mm. So coming from like a completely non-CS background, what was like the biggest like mindset shift you had to make to like succeed in tech?
Mm, I'll say first you need to know yourself better. Are you those kind of person who like to think a lot and also like to uh have something new in a daily basis?
Mm.
Like let's say my previous job. I mean, look at that. My previous company is so big, Accenture, and also the client is Google. Sounds very big, right? But I'm more like a screw in part of this big machine. So you keep rotating on the same rotations. So I think it is doesn't fit me, but it might fit someone else. So I feel like if you can adapt to like something who keep rotating, then you can stick to like my previous job or any other jobs. But you like challenging, you like to think, then coding is one of the thing. Programmer is one of the job you can look for. But in other words, that's mean if you don't like thinking, you like to keep things simple and rotating, then it might be a very big challenges there.
Hmm. It's
Yep,
like it's a role where you have to like take more ownership, and like it's not as much hiding as like a big like company like Accenture, right? So like you have to
true,
be
true,
willing
true.
to evolve, adapt, and be under pressure also, because like there's a lot more at stake for you as opposed to like a big company, would you say?
True, true. The very big difference is the previous and the now is like previously it's like okay, manager tell you what to do, you do it perfectly because my client is Google right those days, so their expectations are very high. You just need to do that one thing in a perfect score. And in when you are as a programmer, you need to think a lot. You need to think, will your codes affect other people codes? Will the database become fragile because of this, something like that? So you need to think a lot more even you are just doing one thing.
Hmm.
So you need to like that to be able to have a better life.
Yeah, I understand. I understand particularly because I just joined Sigma School, and it's literally like right now we only have like 3, 4 people here, so it's like the pressure is there, but I like it. I have to think more. I have to take more
True, true.
ownership. So it's like is different lah, but it's whether you're up for the challenge, lah, right?
True, true.
So like just last few questions for anyone thinking about joining Sigma School or making like a drastic change into tech. What advice would you give?
What advice will I give? Oh, I'll say take the course more seriously. I feel like you know, I'm working for 4 years and I joined Sigma School. I take this opportunity as a chance for me to rest as well. So I do study the course, but half of the day also rest myself.
Yeah.
So, but I think I kind of regret now. I feel like if I'm putting more focus personally, I mean, the teacher is there, the course material is there, the assessment is there. I did complete that, but still you need to put more efforts on yourself to have some your own study. It will easier your first ever landed job. For me now, I already landed, but every day I need to learn something myself so that my next day will be better or say like easier.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing you can do in at once.
So just be prepared, lah. Like don't just
Be prepared, yeah.
come here to just do like.
Appreciate that when all the material is there, and then yeah, to put like it doesn't have to be long. Like just put 1 extra hour a day to study the materials.
Hmm. Okay, final question would be, where do you see yourself in the coming years? Like, how do you hope to advance in this industry?
Mm, because what I learned from Sigma School is fundamental. Is like fundamental things like driving car. On the road, you get a license, you can drive the car. But if you want to be a F1 racer, you need something more. So I feel like I will get to know more about not just coding itself, but learning the infrastructure, learning the whole idea from a higher point of view, like getting to know the system. So I was thinking like I might have a focus on DevOps later on. Yep.
So you just want to learn more. Like Sigma School gave you like a nice foundation, but you want to learn more things and be
True,
more
true, true.
expert, lah.
It's like the opportunity, they open the door for me. So I'm stepping into the new world. So I feel like yeah, there's a lot of things to new, and then I can pick something I like to do and then do it. But first you need to have the door open.
First, you have the door open. Okay, I think that's a great way to close this interview. Thank you so much for your time, and I think this
Thank you,
you did
Andrew.
great. Thank you so much.